Hi, this is Debbie. Welcome back to Cheyenne Life. And I wanted to show an update on the seedlings that I had planted, or the seeds that I have planted. I've actually started some more. And also I wanted to give a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a disclaimer or just a little bit of advice when it comes to other YouTube creators in regards to gardening. I am not a long-time YouTube creator. Kind of am, kind of not, because usually I just did hobby videos a long time ago, upwards of about 12 years. I would make videos and put them on YouTube of my kids and things like that, not really of any gardening or any of that. But there's a lot of advice out there that comes around from gardeners that make their YouTube channels that will tell you that you need all of these special growing lights and all of this special equipment to make sure to get your seedlings off to a good start, and otherwise they'll be spindly and you won't be able to plant them, they'll be stunted, all of these other things. I just wanted to show you my little growing room right here. It's a kind of like a bay window area of the Victorian house, and as you can see I have these sort of wall to wall or ceiling to floor windows almost, except they stop with a windowsill. And I have 4 of those in this growing room. So you can see it kind of makes like a 90-degree type of window unit. And then it has a windowsill where I can sit my pots. And then I have a growing rack in here where I just grow a lot of my house plants as well as growing some of my seedlings. So as you know, I had started some cabbages back about 3 weeks ago. And I wanted to show you an update on those cabbages. And right there they are. I have 8 plants, 8 seeds that I had planted, and every single one of them came up. So as you can see there, none of them are spindly. None of them are stunted. They have already gotten their 4th and sometimes 5th and 6th leaves. They are in my growing rack on the second shelf. So they do not have access to the sun all the time. And in Wyoming, we don't have sun for extremely long periods of the day. Here it starts getting dark at about 6:30 now. And pretty soon the time will change. I think the time is changing next weekend or this upcoming weekend. So I just wanted to show you that yes, you can grow your own seedlings. These will be transplanted into larger pots about the size of these very shortly. So they will not be all in one pot. And that is pretty much the key on keeping your seedlings from getting stunted or growing really, really small or just growing slow, all of that. That keeps them from doing that. So you can just put them into a little bit larger pots, and that will keep your seedlings strong. And every single one of these, even though there's a couple of them that's a little bit smaller, are strong plants. They're very, as you can see, very much like small cabbage plants. They're already quite, the stems are quite stiff or strong, so they should be very healthy cabbage plants that'll be transplanted out into the garden probably around the beginning of May. So these will have another month in these larger pots, and then we'll eventually get into the ground. So anyway, I wanted to show you an update on my artichokes. I only had 2 out of the 6 seeds come up, but that's because I've had the packet of seeds for a few years now, and their germination's probably getting to an end. But there are 2 artichokes there, quite healthy, as you can see. And people said that you can't grow artichokes in Wyoming, and I have successfully 2 years in a row. I just simulate the fog by using just a regular water bottle with a sprayer end, as you can see, and I just gently spray them. That simulates the fog that they get, because a lot of artichokes are grown in California or in like Middle Eastern areas. So then they have a lot of fog that comes in, not so much water, but just fog. And so I just simulate that Plus they get lots of additional water. And there is my basil. The plants have decided which ones are going to be the ones that continue to grow, which is fine. That's all I needed in this pot anyway. And even I had gotten these two little distressed bamboo, and they are now getting larger. And these will be probably changed out pretty soon for a little bit larger containers. And this is the 3-year-old lemon tree that I had shown you. And it had gotten one limb at the time that I talked to you last. And it now has about 5 or 6 limbs that are growing. You can see the branch offs there. And then there's some at the top. So it is now beginning to branch out and will be pruned and trimmed very shortly. My amaryllis has stopped flowering. So I cut that back. And when you cut back the stalk on an amaryllis, that will encourage it to grow another stalk and bloom again. So went ahead and did that, and also watering it. We reduce the water when it's blooming. And then tomato seeds that I had planted, I had 4 out of the 6 come up. So that's pretty good germination. These are the Super Sauce hybrid tomatoes, which will be very, very large Roma type tomatoes. Supposed to be in about the 2-pound range. And as you can see, the plants are extremely healthy. We're getting, 3rd, 4th, 5th sets of leaves here. And I just transplanted them this morning into their individual containers that will last another month and a half before I get them outside, because they can't have any frost or anything. And then I did go ahead and start a second batch here. As you can see, I just use a straw and a piece of cardboard and put the names. And then I have, I believe, 5 more seeds in here. If I have 3 come up, that'll be great. I didn't expect a whole lot with them being a hybrid. But to have 4 tomato plants out of that for us is well more than enough. And of course, I will have other tomatoes as well. Most likely I will pick up a package of beefsteak tomatoes or something like that, as well as having some of the little pear tomatoes, the little yellow and orange ones. So I do have that. And then this morning as well, I went ahead and started my cucumbers, because they need a good month and a half to 2 months growth in these individual pots. And these will stay in these before they're transplanted outside. They will not be put into larger containers. So I've got 6 Armenian cucumbers there, as well as some Tuscan style extra sweet cantaloupes here, or muskmelons. They're really a muskmelon, not a cantaloupe. Muskmelon is kind of the precursor to cantaloupes. And 2 white pumpkins here. I had picked up a white pumpkin, I believe it was at Walmart or something, a year or so ago, and went ahead and said, you know what, I think I want to grow some white pumpkins. So we're going to try the seeds and see how those go. Maybe nothing, but that's okay. And then 6 straight 8 cucumbers will be here. Out of these seeds, because these seeds are probably 3-4 years old now, I expect about half to 75% germination. I don't expect any more than that. We shall see, but I don't need very many plants in the area that I grow. My cucumber plants usually get somewhere between 20 to 30 feet long, and I have loads and loads and loads of cucumbers, so I don't ever have to worry about having a whole lot of plants. So there you go. There's an update on my seedlings, and as you can see, these are not undergrowing lights. These are just subject to the sun, water, and containers, and a good potting soil. And there you have it. So I wish everyone well. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notices on new videos as they come out. And I will see you in the next one. And this is Debbie with Cheyenne Life.